one of the most important personality traits that me and my friends have tried to cultivate in ourselves is agency. It's what we're obsessed by. It's what we talk about. Essential intentionalism, which is a subset. It is necessary but not sufficient in order to be able to build out agency, something else that we really love talking about. And upon reflection, I realized that all of us had first learned about the word agency from you.
High agency is a lifelong commitment for me. Life is filled with these opportunities. There are cheat codes everywhere. There are panic rooms where if you know which book to pull, the bookcase just swings open for you.
Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to go through some of the highlights, specifically on agency, from probably one of the best podcasts I've heard in a while, between Chris Williamson and Eric Weinstein. If you have 3 hours, I would highly recommend you go listen. There's loads of wisdom within it, and I think the way Eric explains things is very, very profound and very, very important in the current landscape of things. But for this video in particular, it's about how agency is beneficial. And for those of you who don't know what agency is or would like a simple idea of it, I just believe it's curating your own life. It's being able to take yourself from A to B with a sheer will and determination, taking control of your destination and your trajectory. And Eric, for someone who's so smart, if you don't know him, he's an economist. He's worked with Peter Thiel. He's a wizard mathematician. He's very, very intelligent. And for someone who is so intelligent, he's very profound in how he explains things.
It's about dysgraphia. It's about the torture of school for being smart and not even having a high IQ, because one of the 4 components of IQ is something called processing, which I just think is an abomination that somehow gets into intelligence. I was a B- high school student in math, mostly because I was charming, or the grade would have been even lower. And so one of the things that weirdly I'm most proud of in my life, and sort of the origin story that people don't ask enough about because it has to do with dyslexia, is that somehow a B- high school student limps out of high school and 3 years later at 19 has a master's degree in mathematics, headed for arguably the top department in the world as a graduate school at Harvard. And that's not a story about I'm so smart. It's a story about agency. It's about doing the thing that you're not good at, like that you're really, really bad at.
So they shout out to all my dyslexics out there. I believe Eric Weinstein is dyslexic, and he actually highlights there that he wasn't really that good at school. And I believe it's because school is quite confining in how it tests and teaches. He then leaves school and gets a master's degree at age 19. And one of the pillars to doing agency is doing the things that you hate, but like you love them. It's where the foundation of discipline stems from. And I believe that's an incredible foundation to touch on, and something that we can build on in our own lives. I know I, for one, am guilty of this as well. If I don't like doing something, I probably don't do it. But it's about pushing those boundaries and making yourself comfortable in the uncomfortable. It's about having the agency to make those hard decisions and to go to gym at 4 in the morning if you have no other time.
There are panic rooms where if you know which book to pull, the bookcase just swings open for you. Both my kids graduated a year early because all you have to do is ask your high school, hey, I really want to graduate a year early, and it's possible. I don't know how to teach people that no is the beginning of a conversation. You know, one day I was having a steak dinner, I think with Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson. And it came to the Big 5 personality inventory, which Jordan swears by. And he was discussing, you know, he can read off your Myers-Briggs like that. And he says, but that's not really as good as the Big 5. So he gave Dave his Big 5. I was terrified. I didn't say anything. He says, "You, Eric, are particularly interested." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, you're very high in trait openness, but what really distinguishes you is you're the most disagreeable person I've ever met," or something close to it. And I think cultivating disagreeability even sounds bad. Well, he's very disagreeable, but it's trait disagreeability rather than that. It has to do with non-acceptance. Somebody says there's nothing we can do. Well, is there really nothing you can do? Are you sure? Very often, for example, I can get ChatGPT to tell me things it's not supposed to by figuring out how to do prompt engineering. There's almost always a way to do anything that seems like it should be possible. And cultivating this trait, MacGyvering everything or finding the cheat code, is a way of life. And
being able to run when everyone tells you to stop, and being able to perhaps see opportunities where people would prefer you to sit down and fall in line is maybe let's call it the second pillar of agency. You need to be able to be disagreeable, and that doesn't mean be unlikable or be combative. It means not taking no for an answer. It means being told this is the only way to do something, but knowing intuitively that it's not, that there is more out there than what is being shown and what is being told to us. So like Eric says, to cultivate disagreeability, in my opinion, you have to be comfortable with conflict, because in order to be disagreeable, you have to be comfortable in those positions where you disagree with people. You need to, stand tall and protect your opinions and not shy away. And you need to deal with maybe potentially some uncomfortable situations. But again, it's about becoming comfortable in those uncomfortable spots. That's truly where the beauty of life happens. You'll see it's almost like watering a seed, and by the grace of God, it turns into a tree. It's very wonderful to see. And I think it's something that we should all work on and get better at.
One of the podcasts that nobody listens to me on that I'm proudest of is a podcast called something like Teach Me Teacher, where I basically go after educators and I say, you guys are the most dangerous, horrible people to the neurodivergent. Every second of my life spent in your classrooms before college, before university, is a second I want back. Is trauma, is pain. All you did is instill in me that I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I'm not good enough, I should go away, I'm bad, I'm aberrant. It's like, I got it. I really got it. You don't like me. I don't like you. You're bad people to me. You can think that I'm the student who's just disagreeable. But the fact of the matter is, life depends on disagreeable people.
So it's pretty clear that Eric did not really enjoy school that much. And as someone who also didn't feel like school was for them, I can empathize 100% with his sentiments. If you are a cog that doesn't fit the machine, school becomes very abrasive and very difficult. And like he says, for the neurodivergent, which I'll put up the definition now, it can be quite challenging because you stray from the norm, and school is designed to make everybody uniform. So if you do stray from the norm, school can be a very, very difficult place. And I think he gives teachers perhaps a bit of a hard time there. As think about, they have 30 kids in a class. If you're the one who doesn't really fit the mold, it's not fair on the other 29 to cater the lesson to you. I believe schools and teachers could get better with dealing with this and identifying it. But I think it's not really their fault as well. They too are captured by an archaic system that I think we should change, and I think there are alternatives out there that are getting better and better.
What would you say to the people who feel like they didn't fit in when they were younger, they still don't fit in now? Like, life happens for other people and they're on the outside sort of watching.
It's an interesting question. I don't know how to give everyone advice, but is there something that you're best at? Is there something that you don't suck at that isn't valued by the world? That's kind of the beginning of, you have to make some room for self-esteem. One of the things that I'm not positive if my grandfather ever said it, but I remember it as if he said it, is you owe the world your eyes. Maybe your eyes aren't that good. Maybe what you see isn't true. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're clouded. Maybe you're egotistical. Maybe you're a narcissist, blah, 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 blah. But whatever your eyes are, they're yours. And you have a right to process the world and say what you see.
And I think that's a beautiful space to kind of end this video, in the sense that much like what I'm trying to do with this channel is just get my voice out there, try convey messages, and try show people the world that I see through my eyes. And I believe we can make that the third pillar of becoming having more agency in your life. Is your own story is unique. You have something exceptional to offer the world that perhaps nobody else can. And not only can you do these things, you have a right to. You have a right to tell people how you see the world. You have a right to share your lived experiences. And by having the disagreeableness to take that charge and to take that responsibility and put yourself out there and share your opinions and share your truths, that is where true agency comes from. So there's the three pillars of how to have more agency in your life, I guess. Is number one, being comfortable in the uncomfortable, doing your job that you can't stand and that you hate like you love it. Number two, getting comfortable with being disagreeable and being in disagreeable situations. And that, again, does not mean being unlikable. It means saying no in the face of adversity. Three is you owe the world your eyes. You are unique. Your lived experiences are unique. The way you see things can be unique. And like I've always suggested on this channel, open dialogue and having these conversations where I can try and show you the world through my eyes and try see it through yours. That is truly where we can find beauty. And in my experience and in my opinion, it's truly where we can find that sense of agency that can take us to wherever we want to go and achieve our goals. Thanks for your time, guys. If you liked the video, please subscribe. And then check out this video over here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.